I know you're a busy professional, so I'm going to cut straight to the chase by telling you the one thing you should not be doing if you're looking to create time to work on your side hustle. And that is working on that side hustle whenever you can find time. I will tell you from experience, that's a recipe for looking up weeks from now and discovering that you've gotten so busy that you've barely touched your side hustle. And once you've actually committed to building that side hustle, you want to see momentum in the form of money hitting your bank account every single month, because that side hustle is meant to be another stream of income in addition to your 9 to 5. And you want that precious little time you have to be put to good use. So click like if you're ready to not only committing to building a side hustle, but also creating the time to work on it. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 strategies that you need to implement in order to create time to work on your side hustle on a consistent basis. And those 5 strategies are: 1, having a mindset shift; 2, auditing your time; 3, working on the right things, and we'll cover what that looks like; 4, giving yourself a deadline; and number 5, learning how to batch. All right, so if you are ready to dive into this and learn how to consistently work on your side business, go ahead and grab a notebook and a pencil, because this is going to be jam-packed and I want you to be able to take notes and apply them later. If you're new around here, my name is Sewa Ajay-Pele. I'm a business strategist. I host the Shoes Off Script podcast, and I'm here to help you build a business that's going to change your life. All right, so let's dive into it. Okay, so strategy number 1 is having a mindset shift. And there are 4 mindset shifts that I'd like to share with you, and implementing even one of these is going to have a great impact on what you're trying to work on. So number 1 is a principle called Pareto, and it's also known as the 80-20 rule. And that simply says that 80% of the results that you have with anything you do in life come from 20% of the effort. 80% of the weight loss that you're probably seeing right now comes as a result of 20% of the things you've done. Like maybe you stopped drinking Coca-Cola for breakfast and lunch, and as a result, you've lost 80% of the weight that you were trying to lose. There are so many instances of where hustling and moving all the time doesn't always yield the results that you're looking for. So try to work on the right things in order to get the maximum impact of your actions. All right, so that's mindset shift number 1. Being busy all the time doesn't necessarily yield the results you think it does. Mindset shift number 2 is done is better than perfect. Where are my recovering perfectionists out there? Those of you who don't want anyone to see your work until it is perfect. I'll tell you what, that's probably one of the reasons why you can't find the time, or there never is enough time to work on your side hustle, because you're trying to tweak everything and make it perfect. But once you realize that your 50% or your 70% done is better than people who have spent years on it because you have the right skill set, you will make a lot more progress. So that's mindset shift number 2. Mindset shift number 3 is pick one thing. So many of us have brilliant ideas of things that we would love to implement, and we touch one here, touch one there. We're always working on something, but never see anything to completion. And I will tell you, in order to actually accomplish your goal of having time to work on your side business, you need to pick one thing and dedicate your time to it. And before you know it, you will complete that one thing and you will feel like you've had the time to complete it. So pick one thing. And mindset shift number 4 is rethinking how you view your 9 to 5. This isn't one of those videos where I try to convince you to quit your 9 to 5, because we are trying to build multiple streams of income here. Now, the reason I'm asking you to rethink your 9 to 5 is if you find that your 9 to 5 is not paying you enough, but it's so restrictive and demanding that you don't have the breathing room to create other streams of income, you may need to rethink the kind of 9 to 5 you have. You may need to find a role that is exactly what you do, but actually allows for you to work remotely, so you can eliminate the commute, for example, and time that you would have spent 2 hours on the road, you can now use to work on your side business. I always used to kind of side eye people who I felt weren't giving 110% at work, but they would get their job done, but they weren't bending over backwards to pick up every single project that had nothing to do with why they were getting compensated. And there's a lot of talk these days about quiet quitting. And really, the premise there is people are not going above and beyond. They're doing exactly what they're paid for. And really, there's no reason for them to be fired or for anyone to think any type of way about them because they're getting the job done. So this is probably the mindset you need to adopt. Do your job, do your 9 to 5 well, because hopefully you love what it is you are doing in your 9 to 5, but find a 9 to 5 that allows you to have the breathing room to not only explore side businesses and side hustles, but also allows you to have hobbies and spend time with friends and family, right? So rethink how you are seeing your 9 to 5. Okay, so strategy number 2 is auditing your time. I know a lot of us are busy, but oftentimes you probably don't know what you are busy doing. You don't know where all of your time has gone. So here's your action item under this strategy. For a week, I want you to write down everything you are doing with your time. Whether it's, I woke up, I folded laundry, I did some dishes, I got in the car, drove to work for 30 minutes or drove to work for an hour. Then I had 10 meetings, or I logged into work if you work remotely. I had 5 meetings, then I had lunch, right? You want to see where all of your time is going. I grocery shopped, I cleaned the toilets, I did, laundry. Whatever your time is being spent on, audit it and list it out. The reason I need you to do this is because I want you to figure out which one of those things needs to be eliminated. I know sometimes we want to be perfectionists, we want to be superhumans and do every single thing, but some of the stuff that is unnecessary, meaning that you don't need to do it and no one else needs to do it, needs to be taken off of your list. A little silly example is I have a friend who loves to cut the fruit that her kids eat. Now, her kids are beyond, choking age, so they can pick up an apple and bite into it, and that's good enough. She doesn't need to spend the time chopping up their fruit every single morning. And her husband's like, I don't want to do that either. So she insists on doing it, but that's time that you could recapture. So think about the things in your life you're doing that are unnecessary, but you're doing out of a false sense of this is what it takes to be a great mom, or this is what it takes to be a great employee, and cut them out. There are other things that could be delegated to other people, either in your home, your extended family, or your friend circle. And you could ask someone, hey, could you help me pick up the kids on Monday? Or could you help me, whatever it might be. In our home, my 9-year-old now empties the dishwasher when she gets back from school in the afternoon. So the dishwasher is empty for my husband to do the dishes, right? So we have found a way for people in the household to chip in. Sometimes it's not perfect. She puts things back in the wrong place and I'm looking for the grater and I'm like, where did the grater goes? And she's put it somewhere new because she is still learning. But remember, done is better than perfect. So the dishwasher is empty and that allows my husband to fill it with dirty dishes and the task has been accomplished. I don't want to micromanage every aspect of my life. I want to be able to delegate. So what on your list could you delegate to someone else today? And if there's something else that you can outsource from that list, given our gig economy, I've seen families who are outsourcing their laundry these days, right? They put it in a bag on their doorstep. Someone comes to pick it up off of whatever app they're using. And at the end of the day, it gets returned to them, folded and labeled by family member. And that saves them hours every single week. So if you are able to afford and you're able to delegate things like, getting a meal service, twice a week so that you're able to free up that cooking time, that is time that you can get back to work on things that you love and to work on your side business. So that is number 2, audit your time and find opportunities to eliminate, to delegate, and to outsource. Strategy number 3 is for you to work on the right things. I always say the perfect side hustle or side business for you to start is going to be at the intersection of your passion, your skill level, and the market need. Now, I say passion and skill because if you feel like you're going to have to Google every single step of building this business, it's probably not the right business for you. Your first business should be something that you're relatively knowledgeable about, that you're relatively passionate about, because that passion and that knowledge and that ease that comes with your skill is what's going to give you the momentum and is what's going to make you do so much in 30 minutes that you can't believe you've done all that work, right? Because there's a little bit of ease that comes with it. And I know this is difficult to picture, but also someone else needs to need whatever it is that you're working on. And this is something that we go over in detail with coaching and worksheets within my program, the Side Business Lab, which is currently enrolling new students. This is an 8-week program where we help you go from finding and picking the right business idea for you to getting your first customer. So if you're looking for help and coaching and the support of a big community of other people who are like-minded, who are also building businesses and can give you that accountability as you're creating time to work on your business, go to sewa@jpelly.com/side business lab to join us today. You will work with me live every single week. We have video lessons, worksheets, templates that you can just swipe and use and plug and play in your business. And it really does take a lot of the guesswork about how to go about building a business out of the process so you can go straight to working on what you need to work on. So if you're watching this live and you're interested in joining us, go ahead and click the link in the description box. And there is also a coupon for a discount for people who are taking fast action if you do it before Saturday. So back to working on the right things. There's certain tasks that are needle moving tasks and are going to give you the biggest bang for the time that you're spending. Remember that Pareto 80-20 rule. So 20% of your action that you take is going to yield 80% of your results. So as you are making your to-do list every day, think about how it impacts the bottom line. How is what I'm doing going to put money in my bank account? For example, tweaking your website, trying to make it beautiful, spending long hours at night doing that. How is that going to draw a line straight to your bank account? It is not. Having a website that has a payment gateway, that has a way for you to display your products, yes, that is going to lead to the money. But all of this stuff around the fringes isn't really helping you get results. So as you're putting together that to-do list, keep that in mind. Work on things that are going to lead straight to the money. All right. Strategy number 4 is to set a deadline. There's yet another law called Parkinson's Law that says that work is going to expand to fill the amount of time allotted for it. Meaning that if you give yourself 5 minutes to get something done, you will do it within that 5-minute period. Or if you give yourself 30 minutes to do that very same task, chances are you're going to use every single second of that 30-minute window you've given yourself. Think back to when you were in school and you procrastinated till the night before to finish a paper. Chances are you finished that paper within 3 hours, whereas the professor probably gave you 3 weeks to work on it. So it's the same mentality here. If you give yourself an unlimited amount of time to work on this side business, you are going to let it drag out. But if you give yourself a 2-week window or a 2-month window and you say, within 2 months, I actually want to launch my Shopify store. I want to have a couple digital products on there that I'm selling. And you work towards that. Every single night you will work on one digital product. Every single night you will work on creating a payment gateway, creating a page to sell it on. And the key here, I said a page, I didn't say an entire website, is that is another trap that we fall into that makes us drag out the work that we're doing, is because we feel like we need something elaborate in order to launch. Back to that mindset, done is better than perfect, right? Create an MVP. This is something else I teach within the Side Business Lab, is creating a minimum viable product. What is the minimum amount of work you need to do in order for your end customer to get the benefit you're hoping they will get from it, right? And if you have the mindset of I'm creating an MVP, I'm giving myself a deadline to work within, that is how you will then find the time to see some results. So strategy number 4 is give yourself a deadline and you will find that you will meet those deadlines. Strategy number 5 is to learn how to batch. I've talked about this time and time again, but essentially this is grouping like tasks. If today you are working on, back to our original example, if today you are working on creating digital products, you're not going to work on creating a little bit of the product. You type some things out and then you flip to Shopify because you want to work on designing the page, and then you flip to doing research about payment gateways. You're flitting from one thing to the next to the next. And at the end of the night, once again, you have accomplished nothing, right? You haven't seen anything through. So as you are making your task list and as you are allotting the time for each item on your task list, it's going to be important for you to group like activities. It may be that for a week, all you're doing is building and creating your digital products, that you have everything lined up and created. And then you're going to move on to building your Shopify page, designing it, making sure that it looks good, but don't spend too much time tweaking it, right? And then the next day, you're going to focus on the next tasks that are all like activities. No jumping from project to project, right? The mindset about picking one thing, apply that in this section as well. Find one genre of things to work on as far as your tasks are concerned and batch them. There's an amount of friction that wastes time when you are moving from one activity that requires one side of your brain, one set of tools, to another that requires a separate location, a separate set of tools, a separate kind of mindset. You are wasting time switching from one task to another. It's better to stay within the same sphere. Learn how to batch your activities. All right, so those are the 5 strategies that are going to help you create time to work on your side hustle. We all have the same 24-hour period, but those of us that have figured out how to use those 24 hours to our advantage, no matter what it is we're working on in life, are going to win at it. So in the comments, let me know which one of these strategies are you already implementing, and which one are you going to start working on today? Remember, it's never going to be a big bang where you do everything at the same time, but work on incorporating one step at a time into the process. And before you know it, you will have made time to work on your side business and you will see the results. And remember, the results we're looking for, money in our bank account. So if you found this helpful, leave a comment, reach out to me. We're at She's Off Script on Instagram. Or you can send me an email if you don't want to leave a comment down below, hello@sewa@jpele.com. All right, so we'll see you right back here next time for another video. Thanks for stopping by.